Okay, welcome back to more of Zelda's Butt. And we got the magical charm in the last part. Again, it's just basically your amulet or cross or whatever you want to call it. And we're gonna... Actually, one of the next challenge dungeon we're going to... It doesn't need it, but it really helps. Unless you want to be dealing with a whole bunch of invisible enemies. Probably in your best interest to get the charm. We're not gonna go into this dungeon yet, actually. Well, actually, I could go in there, but I probably want to get one other item first to make things a little more manageable. Kind of an interesting sprite for that genie there. Alright, on this screen, before you think of using a super bomb on this door, you notice the eyeball above there. So you use your lens, you can get rid of that stone eye, and this is why you need at least silver arrows. Regular arrows aren't going to be good enough to open this thing up. Alright, into the King's Tomb. Yeah, here this guy gives you a little heads up about the magical charm. And I think if you see these types of blocks, I think you would have invisible enemies in the room if you didn't have the charm. Well, since I do have the charm, then it doesn't matter because everything will be visible. If you use the lens, you can find some, you know, pretty much use it wherever you go in this place, just so you don't miss anything. If you notice the arrow here, that kind of points you to which tombstone you have to push. I kind of made it incorrectly because you can run into the ghost as soon as you trigger this thing. And that room I'm just gonna leave alone. That room just has money in it. Given I'm almost capped, I'm just gonna actually leave it there for later. It actually does become somewhat handy later on. I guess we'll go this way first. Now here your mirror shield may not be your best friend, because if you deflect a fireball into an enemy, it's just gonna run right through. So if you're trying to hit it with, say, your hammer, well, you can't hit it until it loses its invincibility frames. Just gotta be a little bit careful when you're attacking enemies here. Okay, if you go up... I think this is a... kind of a one-way passage. Well, it's not one way, it's just a kind of a trap room. Maybe not a bad idea to get yourself stuck in a like, to be honest. Might gain you a little bit of time. Fire Boomerang is nice to slow down the action a little bit. Okay, now that I got rid of their shields, it should be a little bit easier. Yeah, all you get are bombs for this. So I guess in case you didn't have any bombs, you have to go through that room to get some. And this room, you actually see these kind of weird blocks. So again, if you didn't have the charm, I would think all these enemies are invisible. It's not a big issue, you can actually still get through this, it's just a bit harder. A little bit harder to fight what you can't really see. Any room I can hold a doorway, I'm just gonna do that. Take out some of these enemies. Alright, next room, let's see. Actually, these guys I don't even think you need to deal with yet. Since you'll be coming back to this room anyway, because of that boss door on the right. And just snipe off as many enemies from the doorways I can. Again, there's money in one of the rooms near the beginning, and notice I'm almost capped on cash at this point. So again, for example, in this room you'd have all invisible enemies. Yeah, it wouldn't be fun to fight 3 super dark nuts and invisible, in this type of room. I mean, it's not that hard when you can actually see them. Luckily, this is actually a pretty small dungeon. I mean, just looking at the design. I don't think you have to take out these super dark nuts, actually. Just to show that there's nothing in here. Alright, so just to be complete, we'll go up first. Oh man, the Patra would probably be invisible as well if you didn't have the charm. Yeah, that was just a trap room, basically. Well, at least back to a simpler room. Anytime you just see, like, you know, ropes and stuff, it's like a little bit of a breather room. And this room is a lot easier just to stay in the doorway. Got enough stuff to annoy you in here. After you clean up enough of the mess, then you can go on and clean up the rest of this place. Okay, now this is an odd room. There's just one Octorok. Nothing else in here. And you get a piece of heart for just taking out one Octorok. Now, before you go back to the start, I mean, you can look at your map and see that there's probably something over here. Okay, it's a little more difficult. Got that one Patra and a bunch of red Octoroks. It's kind of a weird mixture of enemies there. Alright, so after picking up the boss key, you can pretty much head back to that one room that had the boss door in it. I thought the boss door was to my right. I was trying to open the door and realize it was a closed door. Okay, this is the room with the boss door in it. And yes, you can use this room for some refills in case you need it. Luckily, some simpler rooms. I mean, we're nearing the end of this place. And here we find the red ring. Kind of a weird price, 147 rupees. It's kind of an odd number there. But, you know, we'll just buy this. Luckily, it's not that expensive. It's not like 500 rupees or something. So at least this thing is, you know, fairly affordable. It's not that hard to grind up enough money to get that. So that's actually going to help quite a bit in the next bonus dungeon I'm going into. pretty much nothing else to do in this place, and you just make a beeline for the exit now. Yeah, good, always good to have more defense. And to get out of this room, you find the walk-through wall. I think there's a one-way passage. Alright, now that we have Red Ring, actually the next dungeon I'm going to is like literally nearby. Like right here. So luckily it's a very short walk. Now going into this place, into Spectacle Rock. Again, you really want to have the Red Ring for this, just to, so that you don't have such a big headache going through this place. Okay, and then you see the stone eye to the left there, so you already know what you need to get into this place. Alright, next part, we'll go through Spectacle Rock, which is kind of a tricky place to go through. Alright, see you guys later.